Hi and welcome to Garfin's Creation. Today let's make this crispy and super yummy chicken kachori, or even call it chicken puffs. I have mentioned the detailed recipe in the description box below. To begin with, let's knead the dough first. I have taken half a kg maida or all-purpose flour. This is sieved, and to this I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of salt. Along with that, I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of butter. Mix the butter and the maida till you get a nice crumbly texture. You can use both your hands and rub the butter along with the flour. You'll rub it till you get a nice sand-like texture. Once the texture looks like this, we will add some water and start kneading it. This is room temperature water, and I'll add the water gradually and knead it to a nice dough. The atta should not be too hard or too soft, just a medium type of dough. I'll now transfer the dough onto the table and knead it for a minute or so. You can use the same kachori recipe and add any filling of your choice. After kneading for a minute, this dough looks done. I will just gather it and tuck it from the side and make a round ball. I'll place it in the bowl and let it rest for at least 20 to 30 minutes. While this is resting, let's make the chicken filling. This is 300 grams boneless chicken. To this I'll be adding 1 cup of water, 2 cloves of garlic which is smashed, half an inch of ginger and half a teaspoon of salt. Mix it well and let it come to a boil. Once this starts boiling, I will put a lid and let it cook further till it's fully cooked. On medium flame, after 7 minutes, the chicken is fully cooked. You can check it by pressing a piece. This is done. Now I'll switch off the flame and let it cool completely. We will need the chicken stock later, so I'll just separate the chicken and shred it once it's cold. Keep the chicken stock aside and into the same pan add 1 teaspoon of oil. Along with that, I'll add a tablespoon of butter. I have sliced 3 spring onion, only the white part of the onions. Add the sliced onion into the pan and just stir fry it for a few seconds. You do not have to overcook the onions now. You'll retain the little bit crunchiness of it. And now I'll add finely chopped garlic. This is around 6 to 7 cloves of finely chopped garlic. Fry this now for about a minute, and then I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of maida or all-purpose flour. Once the flour is added, keep stirring it continuously so that the maida does not get burned or stick to the pan. Once the rawness of the flour is gone, I'll be adding the chicken stock which we had kept aside. This is approximate half a cup of chicken stock that is left. I've added a little now and mixing it well. As you keep mixing, it will start getting a bit dry. So now it's time to add the rest of the chicken stock. Along with that, add half a teaspoon of black pepper powder, half a teaspoon of aromat seasoning, 1 teaspoon of chilli flakes, and a little bit of salt. If you do not have aromat powder, you can add a chicken cube here. We had already added little salt in the chicken previously, so I've added little bit salt over here. Now this is getting mixed well. We'll add the shredded chicken and mix that as well. I'll put the link for the aromat powder in the description box below. It's a very good seasoning and it really improves the taste of your food. This aromat seasoning is widely used in most of the restaurants to make the food tastier. The chicken is mixed well now. I'll be adding a little milk now and mix it well. I'll be adding a total of 1/4 cup milk to mix it well so that it becomes nice and creamy. After adding the rest of the milk, mix the chicken well. If you like it more spicier, you can adjust the pepper powder or the chilli flakes. Lastly, adding a little bit of the spring onion tops. Mix that as well and switch off the flame. A nice creamy chicken filling is all ready, and now we let it cool completely. Next, let's prepare the corn flour paste for layering the dough. I have taken 3 tablespoons of corn flour. Add half a teaspoon of baking powder. You can use any brand here and give it a good mix. I had also melted some Dalda and kept it for a while. You can use any ghee, but see that it is not too hot. Add 2 tablespoons of melted Dalda into the corn flour. Mix it well and make a smooth paste out of it. This, when applied to the dough, will give nice layers to the kachoris. I mixed it well, and this is how it will look. Keep this aside for some time and let's start rolling the dough. So now it's been half an hour and the dough looks well rested. We'll get it out and we'll just knead it for a few seconds. You can see how smooth the dough gets when it is rested well. Just knead it for a few seconds. When the dough is rested well, you are able to knead it and even roll it very quickly. I'll divide this dough into 2 parts so it's easy to roll. I'll just start and make a ball of this and cover it and keep it aside while we work with the other dough. Keep this aside for some time while we work on the other part of the dough. I'll be rolling this into a large chapati around 1/4 centimeter in thickness. These chicken kachoris, when broken, they look more like a puff pastry. It has a good crunch and quite a good layers when doing this in this method. So now this is rolled out and you can see the thickness, how much I have kept. I'll just smooth out the corn flour paste which we had just made some time back. In colder weather, if you feel that the paste has become thick because of the ghee getting solidified, just mix it well and then use it. I have taken half the quantity of the corn flour paste and be applying on this chapati now. Spread the corn flour paste evenly all over the chapati. This will make the kachoris crispy and give you layers too. This is done. Now start rolling from one side of the chapati, rolling it inside to make a nice long roll out of it. Roll it tightly so there is no gap. Pinch the edges and seal it well. This way the corn flour paste will not ooze out. This is done, and now I will divide this whole log into 6 equal portions. To make smaller size kachoris, you can divide this into 7 or 8 pieces too. So you will get a total of 12 pieces from half a kg of all-purpose flour. You can see how good the layers they look. I'll just roll it and just flatten a little so it's easier to roll later. Follow this process for the rest of the pieces too, and then we'll keep it into a plate and cover it with a cloth while we work with the other half of the dough too. Following the same process, roll this dough into a large chapati, apply the paste, roll it and cut it into pieces. Now all the pieces have been cut. Apply some oil onto the mat and press one of the pieces with your hands gently. Then using a rolling pin, roll it a little more bigger. Roll it about 4 inches so that we can put the filling on top of it and fold it well. This looks good enough. And now we'll put the filling, the chicken filling which we had prepared earlier. Spread some of the chicken filling into the center of the dough and spread it a little. Adding a little mozzarella cheese here. Use any type of cheese and then just cover it with the chicken filling. Once this is done, hold the sides of the roll dough and get the sides together. Now pinch all the sides together and squeeze it a bit so the sides are all sealed well. We have to make sure that the filling does not come out, so squeeze it well. You can also use some oil on the table and roll it well. The oil will help in making the dough a little bit soft and it will help to seal the edges also properly. Roll it once more on the table and you'll see that you get a nice smooth kachori. Flatten it also on the top a bit and this is how it looks. Prepare the rest of it in the same way and now it's time to fry them all. To deep fry them, add sufficient oil into a pan and keep it on low flame. Once the oil is a little bit hot, add the kachoris a little at a time. Make sure you fry the kachoris all at a lower flame at all times. Keep turning them around so that you get a good golden brown on all sides. Frying them on lower heat will ensure they become nice and crispy from inside. This will take around 10 to 12 minutes to fry them well. Do not hasten here and always fry them on lower heat to get good layers and crispiness. You can keep the kachoris a little longer so that they can get a more darker brown too. But this color I feel is enough, so I'll be taking them out now. Drain all the excess oil out and then place them on a kitchen tissue paper. These chicken kachoris or puff tastes best when served hot. You can serve them with any of your favorite sauces. Now continue frying the rest of it in the same way. These are all done now and I'll show you how crispy they are from outside and how creamy and yummy from inside. We can see the melting cheese and the layers of this chicken kachori or chicken puff, you may call them. Do try this recipe out and you too can enjoy it at home. Thanks for watching and do subscribe to Garfin's Creation if you haven't subscribed as yet for more such recipes. And see you soon in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.